So, after Jesus and the disciples talk about who Jesus is, Jesus starts to explain what's about to happen. And the disciples don't want any part of it. You know what? I kind of don't blame them. Because what Jesus describes is suffering and rejection, which leads to death. But why? Why? It was all because of the work he was doing, because of the message, because of the mission, because of the change that he was making. So when the disciples made it clear that they didn't want to hear about it, Jesus turned to the crowd who was following. He turned to the ones who were eager to hear. And he said to the crowd, if you want to follow me, if you want to carry out this message and you want to continue this mission, there will be suffering. What was the message? What was the mission? It was good news for the poor, which today might sound like living wages. It was liberation for the oppressed, which today would sound like getting the knees off of the necks of the oppressed. The mission and the message was recovering sight for the blind, which today translates to opening eyes and changing minds. And the message and the mission is healing of all that is broken. Then and now, that is the message, that is the mission. If you're going to follow me, Jesus said, you will have to suffer. If you're going to follow me, continue the message, complete the mission, pick up your cross and follow. Let go of your comfort. Let go of your pleasure. It is time to embrace suffering. If I look like I'm moving, it's because the cat is on the table. The cat is now off of the table. So, what would make someone want to follow Jesus if it involves suffering? What would make someone willingly enter into situations that are filled with suffering? What are you willing to suffer for? Who are you willing to suffer for? I'm sure there are plenty of people, and there are plenty of reasons. But what about your group? What about your people? Are you part of a group which is willing to suffer? Is there someone we know for whom we would suffer, collectively suffer? Is there a cause for which we are willing to sacrifice? You know what? Those are hard questions. What are we willing to suffer for? Who are we willing to suffer for? What would make us pick up our cross and follow? And not our gold-plated cross, not the one we put around our neck, but the cross, which the inclusive translation of the Bible refers to as a death instrument. Pick up your death instrument. Yikes. No wonder the disciples didn't want to listen. This is where I want to bring in the teachings of Hildegard de Bingen.